Now this next problem involves dividing a polynomial x cubed plus 1 plus 2x squared divided by more than one term. We have x squared plus 1. So if the divisor, so this is what we call the divisor, has two or more terms, we need to use what we call the long division process. This is similar to when we are dividing numbers. So just a quick recap. If we are to divide, let's say 341, and we want to divide that by 3. Okay? So the long division process involves first step is divide 3 by 3, and that gives us 1. We write 1 then, so we write the quotient on top, right on top of 3. The next step is multiplying 1 times 3. So we get a product of 3, we write that below the first digit, and then the next step is subtraction. So we subtract 3 minus 3. So subtracting that, we get 0, and then the next step is bring down the next digit, which is 4. And so we repeat to step 1 again. Now, that process is actually similar to the long division of polynomials, where we first divide, next is multiply, next is subtract, and then bring down, which leads us to repeating the process again until we don't have anything left to bring down. Okay, so what I need to do here first is to write that in the long division algorithm format, where the divisor goes, first we write x cubed plus 1 plus 2x squared inside this division symbol, but then making sure that it is in standard form. So standard form involves having the highest degree first, x cubed, and then having the degree in decreasing order, 2x squared plus 1. Now, what you will notice here is we're missing a term. We're missing a power of x. It starts from x cubed plus 2x squared, and then it jumped to just 1. What we want to do is leave some space. We can actually put what we call a placeholder and write a 0x right there. Okay? And then we're dividing by x squared plus 1. Now the difference is with dividing numbers is in polynomials, we only divide, so take note that we're only dividing the first terms. Okay? What I mean by that is the first terms of each polynomial. So in this case, we should only divide x cubed by x squared. So it would also help sometimes if you have on the side to actually write that down and work that out. X cubed divided by x squared, I know is x. So where do I write x? I write it right above its like term. That is what the 0x is going to be useful for, and I would write x on top of it. After I divide, the next step is going to be multiply by the divisor. Okay? Multiplying by the divisor means I have to multiply to both terms here. So not just the first term, but to both terms. So multiplying that, I'm going to get x cubed. So I write that under x cubed plus x. I'm going to skip the x squared and write x under 0x here. So after multiplying, I now subtract. when you need to be careful. What I would suggest is put parentheses around both terms that you got and make sure to indicate that you are subtracting that. And then remind yourself that that subtraction distributes to both terms. So I don't have anything to subtract from 2x squared, so I'm just going to bring that down here. Now 0x minus x gives me negative x. After subtraction, we now bring down. So I now bring down 1. Once I've brought down 1, I now go back to the first step again. Remembering that when we're dividing, we only divide the first terms. So I'm going to divide 2x squared by x squared right here. So maybe I'll use a side scratch here. 2x squared over x squared results to 2. So I'm going to write that on top. The quotient goes on top. And then I go to the next step again, multiplying 2 to both x squared and 1. Next is subtracting. Okay. And now I don't have anything to bring down, so I am done. This is now the quotient. Okay. And this last, and what you have here at the bottom is going to be your remainder. Okay. So what we do is we add the quotient plus the remainder over the divisor. So your answer will look something like this. So we now have x cubed plus 1 plus 2x squared divided by x squared plus 1, okay, is going to equal the quotient, which is x plus 2, plus the remainder over the divisor.